Okay, okay. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for taking time and coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely, buddy. You got a brand new film out. It's like an action thriller film, and you play the lead. And how did you wind up getting the role as the lead, and what drew you to the script?
Uh, yeah, so a Global Harmony, it's a action thriller slash drama, I guess.
Yeah, it is drama too.
Yeah. Uh, my manager in LA had pitched me for the role, and Fabio, the writer director, also actor, we had a meeting over Zoom first and foremost, just to see if we connected, if we had the same kind of acting philosophy, because we are going to spend pretty much a lot of time together. And so we kind of spoke about the story and what drew him to the story, what drew me to the story. And then we went through a series of auditions and some feedback and kind of worked it together. And then I found out I booked it, and I was on a plane, I think 4 weeks later. So it was pretty, it was pretty fast moving, but it was incredible. And what drew me to the role, I mean, it was a challenging role for what he goes through, through through the highs and lows, but I had never really navigated anything like that on film or TV before. And I found that kind of a really cool challenge to be able to be so invested and go through some really dark moments. And I really wanted to have a go at that. And ultimately the story is about hope, which I really loved and connected with, giving back to people who are less fortunate and using your privilege as power and currency. I think it's a really important thing. So it really drew me to Richard and the story. So yeah.
Nice. And like basically like he leaves his life behind basically like he started this big empire, and he leaves it behind to go on a new mission and move to a different area. Like, what do you think made him want to like just pick up and start like this brand new mission?
Well, I mean, he comes from a family that may not have used their wealth for the better of people, I think, and for better of humanity. Richard was just like, in that family, he's the kind of the black sheep that he it didn't really gel with him. And I think staying where he was, it wasn't a place where he could really see the change that he wanted in the world. And after, at the beginning of the film, he's having interviews, and a certain thing happens. Don't want to ruin it for anybody, but he does connect with an individual that really changes his life, and sees the potential of having a family there. And I think that, and seeing the firsthand, child trafficking or refugee status in Europe. He saw it firsthand. And I think being on the ground, he was able to do more work, and actually living, being able to meet people who've gone through that. Even in my own life, you see it and you can connect with it on a different way. And I think he just knew it was right. I think you just know sometimes that this is where he's meant to be, or where you're meant to be. And he didn't really look back. He changed his ticket and stayed. So, and then I guess the rest is history. So,
Yeah, definitely. and and like you were saying, like it is like an action thriller, but then you have drama too. Like it starts out like a little bit drama, but then it picks up into like an action thriller once the crime ring starts.
yeah.
And how do you think Richard dealt with like going into this new mission, and now there's like this big crime ring like in the mix of everything?
I think he was a little idealistic, to be honest. I think he felt like he could take him on, and had a bit of a male ego there going on. And I think, I think that's his flaw. That's his one of his downfalls, is he doesn't really see the severity of the situation right in front of him. And he kind of sweeps it under the rug a little bit at times, until you can't look away. So That's what I also drew to me to him because we're all flawed. So having him kind of be kind of blinded by his own ideals and goals, I can relate to that, and having that change, and seeing what is important to him and why it's important. Yeah, I think he definitely, I think he bit off a bit more than he could chew, but then he was like, well, I'm not backing down, it's like it's now or never, and I can't get scared. So here we go. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
No, is there like, of course, without giving a lot anything away about the film, but is there like a certain scene that you had the most fun filming, or a scene that you love doing the most?
Oh, good question. What did I have the most fun with? Honestly, it wasn't tough to be shooting in Italy, in the like end of summer into fall. So, I got to live in Naples and then on a beautiful island of Lampedusa. So that was pretty magical. Um, Honestly, I think my favorite scenes were the scenes with who played my wife, and Fadi, who played my daughter. I just love the family scenes because I think he's a family man at heart, and it's all about the humanity and the love for his family, that what he would do for them. And I think any scene that involved them, I think I just had a lot of fun and played. I mean, I can tell you what one of my most scary scenes though
Oh,
is
yeah.
when he's having his dream sequence and he's on the edge of the cliff. I was on the edge of that cliff.
Are
And
you serious?
I'm extremely scared of heights. So there was a moment that I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, do not fall. And it is windy. It is like right at the like
No.
point there. So I am trying to stand still, and I'm like, oh my God, I could just fall forward and die. And I was like, do not think that. So
No.
that was the most terrifying I've ever been. Everyone else was fine. People on the camera crew were laying down, like hanging off the cliff with the cameras. I was like, gosh, you guys, all the props to you. But me, I was panicking, which probably worked for the character, but definitely for me, Morgan, as the actor, I was peeing my pants a little.
Yeah, I would be too. Like that would probably be like my last day of filming. I'd probably be so scared I would walk off set. I'm like, I am not standing on the edge of a cliff on an
Yeah, you're like, I'm
Italian
done.
island.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah.
And did you, when you were filming there, like, did you go out and try like all the good Italian food, the Italian drinks, and all that?
We did indeed. Yeah. I mean, the way we shot, like there was even, we had quite a few days off, and we were able to, we had little scooters, so we got to travel around the island,
Nice.
and we would have a bit of a ritual that we would go to, there was a couple of places and we watched the sunset. So it was so beautiful, and there would be live music, and we'd have our apple spritzers, and it was a nice way to kind of, if you weren't filming, nice way to decompress with other cast and crew members and just kind of connect on a nice friendship level. So it was beautiful to be sitting just watching the sun like set along the ocean, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was stunning. Yeah.
Definitely sounds like it. Like that's one of my dream trips is going over to Italy. I'm Italian, so I
Right.
definitely want to see Italy.
Yeah. I mean, I ate a lot of pasta, pizza, fish. Like it was, I was like, okay, I think I need to go to the gym a little more now, but it was delicious, and I enjoyed every second of it.
There you go. And what do you like doing between takes? Like when you're not filming.
I mean, it depends on the scene. Like some of those really emotional and action-packed scenes, I had to be on my own. You definitely be seeing me sitting in a corner with some headphones on. For me, it's important for me to stay in that world to make it as realistic as possible, especially if we're just coming in for like a tighter kind of lens or anything like that. And so it's easier to stay in that world. But if it's a playful scene, we're generally chatting. My first day of filming, at lunch, amazing spread, and then there's a couple bottles of red wine. I'm like,
There you
red wine
go.
on set? I was like, I couldn't, because if I touch alcohol, I am asleep in 20 minutes. So, um, I love that they were having a glass of red with their lunch. And I was like, this is true Italian. I was like, I think that's it was perfect. Which was a nice, it was always just a glass. Everyone was safe and healthy, but
Oh yeah.
that was always fun to have that kind of family feel. Definitely shooting in Italy, and the way that Fabio and everyone worked was everyone wanted to be a family. So we all ate together during the day and nighttime. So you really got to know everyone because we were so far away from our homes and our families. So to be connected with everybody, it made the whole filming even extra special.
Oh, that's so awesome. And was there any like cool stories from the set? Like any behind the scenes like cool stories from the set?
Oh, I wonder if I'm allowed to tell some of them. Uh, uh, one of this, there was a explosion that happens in the later half of the film.
Mhm.
And I believe that we were scheduled to have some pyrotechnics, and we had a crew coming and everything like that. And for some reason, certain things got delayed and we couldn't do that. So behind the sets on that was Fabio was like, "So Morgan, we're going to sell the whole explosion just from your point of view and your face." So I was like, "Okay, so I'm going to have to sell this entire scene in just my reaction." So that was a fun little here we go. But I have a lot
I'm
of
sure.
footage of them, crew members, on ladders throwing things at me while the camera's zooming out and it's all slow motion and it's all so, but it like we're laughing because it's like, it's styrofoam and dirt and it looks,
Yeah, yeah.
if you're looking at the behind the scenes, it's like, does this actually pay off? And then when you watch it on film, you're like, oh, it actually looks really good. So I remember giggling of like, I mean, after the fact, obviously,
Mhm.
yeah, that was a fun little camera trick that they
Ah, nice.
did.
And what did you love most about filming this and making the film?
Honestly, it's a dream to be a lead in a film. It
Mhm.
was incredible to be able to lead the charge. I've been on sets a lot of time in my life, and it really, I think the way that you can have fun on set is dictated by the people at the top, and I've been on shows and other sets that may not feel like the most friendly kind of nature. And as a younger actor, I was like, if I ever get that opportunity, I'm never gonna have a set like that. So it's about making sure what I loved about it is being able to take charge and make sure that everyone felt comfortable and every single role was is important, even if it's you have one line to having 100 lines, like it's equally as important. We're all part of this. So to make sure that we all connect and felt comfortable was something that I really loved to take on the challenge as the lead role. But you know what? I got to fly out from Canada to Italy and to film on location and meet people. Like it's a dream. It was a dream come true. It was like pinching myself that was actually reality. So I mean, you can't really get better than, playing a fun role that you've wanted to play in a in paradise. So
Oh my
yeah.
God, yes.
I feel very, very grateful and privileged to have had that opportunity.
Nice. And what about songs? Like, what kind of music do you like listening to?
Oh, I'm okay. So I like Morgan on a normal day will be a mixture of everything. When I'm filming, it will be always instrumental. I
Okay.
am a massive, even like when I'm working on a couple scenes at the moment, and I will always listen to classical music. It calms me and I don't know, it makes me feel a little bit more creative, but especially in the more emotional scenes, I listen to like a little like heavier, more emotional kind of instrumental work. But I like, yeah, I love the like a score of a movie. Like it
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of it's like a character in a film, and it really can, really generate emotion. So that's how I kind of work into that. But on a normal level, I listen to pretty much everything. Yeah. So.
Nice. And what would be your go-to karaoke song if you were out with friends singing, having a glass of wine?
You'd see me under the table running away. I would probably be singing like old classic like Frank Sinatra, like My Way or something like that. Like something big and bold in that kind of way that that the crowd could then sing half of it and he could be terrible and no one would even know.
And the last question I'll ask you is, where could fans follow the film and follow you at?
You can follow us, everyone on Instagram. My Instagram is Jonesing for Morgan, the number four. And then Global Harmony, the film is, I believe is the Instagram handle, Global Harmony underscore film, I think it is. But you can follow along. We'll be in a few festivals coming up. I know we have Santa Fe coming up shortly, and then there's a few more in the States, and then we move to doing the Europe trip. So hopefully we'll be able to be streamed and we can get this out for more people to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking time and coming on.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it too. I hope you're well.
Thank you, buddy. You too.